Hello friends, welcome. If we have never met, my name is Carrie Giletto and this is my very first video for Pajama Crafter Stamps. So I'm very excited to be here and I hope that we will get to know one another. Please feel free to comment and chat with me, and I just look forward to interacting with all of you and getting to know you. So here at the beginning, I just want to say that for me, I kind of see my purpose in this partnership as being an inspiration for you. So I know lots of times we buy products and we're like, now what do I do with it? So I just like taking products, using them in different ways to share with you and maybe inspire you to spark your creativity in some way. There may be a time or two where I teach you something you didn't know, but maybe not. But I see myself here to be more of an inspiration. So in that vein, let's go ahead and switch our camera, take a look at the projects that I have for you today. All right. So here's the card that we're going to make, and I've used a couple different die sets from Pajama Crafters that we're going to use to make this. So let me show you. This is the bundle of layered wishes. It gives you so many choices to do candles in different ways. You can layer these up, multiple singles, you've got lots of options here. And these are taller, these are shorter, so you can also do this kind of fan layering bit that's really fun too. And there's some samples on the website of that. But we're going to be using that one. We're going to be using the Baked with Love set, which, how fun is that? You know, so many baking opportunities to use a good die set with baking pieces. For our sentiment, we're just going to use the Happy Birthday from the Mix and Match Celebration Sentiments. And I love this because you can just combine them in so many different ways, but it gives you in this larger font, and then it gives you the same words pretty much, but in a smaller font, because sometimes you just need something tiny. So this is a really nice stamp set for sentiments. I am going to be using one sheet from this fun paper pack, and I can't remember its exact name, I'm sorry, but it is all the chromes and stuff, and this is fairly new, but it's perfect for the holidays coming up. But look at that, it gives you this fun kind of metal toolbox looking sheet. We're going to be using one of these just plain chrome sheets, and then it gives you a couple different options of like a glitter, a larger glitter and then a smaller glitter, but really cool little pack of paper to have on hand. And excuse me, I'm all choked up today. We are going to be using a set of the little clear discs just to add a little bit of shine to our project at the end. And let me see. I think that's pretty much all. So I have got, I have to introduce my little frog. We're not going to be using him today because I'm not going to be doing any stamping. But this is one to do like to add pressure when you stamp. And Pajama Crafters has these little stamping buddies and all different little creatures. So they just released this adorable little dog that I may have to get as well, but mine is Freddy Frog, so I keep him right here on my desk, and I love that he's green because I don't have to like hunt for it. I had a black one once before and I was always looking for it, so this bright green frog is so easy to find, and he's just right here keeping me company all the time. All right, so to get going, I have already cut all of our pieces, and we are going to be making this card, but I decided to do a little bit different color combination. Now, for me, this one is more of a female card, but I wanted to have one on hand that would work, for the fellas if I happen to have a birthday come up that way. So I like to have birthday cards on hand. So I have cut one piece, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then I've used a frame die to just make myself a frame, and then an inner piece here to put some, stripes. Oh, and I forgot to say, this wonderful paper is from a brand new paper pack that just released from Pajama Crafter Stamps called Winter Parade Pack. Now, I don't have the entire set yet, so I don't have that package to show you, but what I love about all of Pajama Crafter's paper is that one side will be more holiday, but the other side is more year-round, like stripes and dots and things like that will be good any time of year. So I love having that option. So I'll definitely use it during the holidays, but I love having that choice. Okay, so let's go ahead and layer these up real quick. Find my glue, what I've done with that. And then we're going to get into some ink blending. Because I don't know about you, but when I make die cut cards, I think it just really takes it to the next level if you take the time to do a little bit of ink blending on your pieces. So we are going to do a little bit of that today. And we're also going to do something to kind of change up our die set, to do something unique and different with it that maybe you wouldn't have thought to do. But maybe you would have. We'll see. All right. Just going to layer these up. I thought this colorful striped paper kind of had a gentleman vibe to it, so I'm still keeping with the orange, but changed up the other colors. So let's start with our cookie sheet here, and we're going to use just a little bit of gray ink to add some shading to our cookie sheet. And so I've just got a little dauber here. And what I use to ink blend on, this is just a little plastic mat that I think I got it at like the dollar store. What works well is also just like a cutting, those plastic cutting, those little sheets for cutting boards they sell for kitchens. And I have just stuck it onto my gel plate pad. And so sometimes I use it to hold stencils, but when I want to ink blend, I just pop this on top. So that's what I use for my ink blending. So we're just going to add some shadow to the outer edges of our tray. And to me, when you do the ink blending, you know, it just takes it from looking flat to having just a little more depth and dimension. And this is nothing new. We've been all doing this to our dies for some time now. But if you're just starting out, this is a trick that will help add dimension to your dies. So, okay, we'll set him aside. He's ready to go. Next, we have our pieces for our candles. Now, I'm going to real quick just wipe the gray off of my mat here so I don't accidentally add gray to my candles. But I'm going to start with the orange one, and I want to add just a little bit of this brighter orange color to the tips of my flames. So I'm going to kind of brush it on this way because I'm afraid if I go too much I'll bend them. So we're just going to, I wanted them to have a little bit more of a fiery look. I'm just kind of pouncing that on there. And there we go. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, I do a little bit more further down. All right, so there's our orange. I think that's all I needed the orange for. Give our mat a quick wipe. That's one of the things I love about this. It's just so easy and inexpensive, I might say. So when I die cut these, I purposely die cut them, leaving the flames hanging off the end so that I didn't get the flames at the top. Excuse me. And I'm going to go ahead and trim those up. The little pieces that did come on, we're just going to trim them so they're all the same. There we go. And I decided rather than have, for my pink one, I two-toned it the pink and orange because I think pink and orange goes together well. But I didn't know if I really wanted the blue and orange, although it doesn't look too bad. But I thought it might be fun to try this. And we may end up going with orange if we don't like it, but let's give it a try and see. I'm all about experimenting in my craft room. I like to just give it a go. You know, if it doesn't work, you just throw it away and die cut another one, right? But I thought we would just ink blend a darker blue color and layer that up. Whoops. I was trying not to bend it and did it anyway. We're going to be gluing that piece on top, so that one candle's getting pretty mangled over there. Do that a bit slower. There we go. Okay, let's see how we like that. So in the past, oh yeah, I think I like that. It looks like those kind of spiral two-toned candles. So often when I'm making videos, I'm actually doing them live. So I'm kind of used to talking and interacting, you know, with people live as I'm crafting. So if sometimes I'm talking to you like I'm expecting an answer right this second, that's why. So, all right, there we go. We're just gonna glue these together. I'm going to pop my glasses on real quickly so I can see better. And now we'll just add this piece to our flames. Yeah, I'm glad the one that I kind of mangled there was the bottom piece instead of the top piece, because no one will ever know. So having like three sheets of cardboard there, or 3 sheets of cardstock there, really gives our candles some dimension, and I like that. Can't remember if I wiped that off or not. So this last thing that we're going to do in our Baked with Love set, we don't have a cupcake. You know, we don't have anything that is a cake, but we do have this large bowl. So I took the large bowl and I turned him upside down, and I'm just going to trim off these little edges here for the bottom of the bowl. Right like that. Now I'm going to come with a little bit of brown ink, and we're going to give him just a little bit of baked brownness on top, so he looks more like a chocolate cake than a bowl. Alright. Then when I die cut this bowl, I put it on our chrome paper, just the bottom edge. So I'm just going to trim that off. And it gives you a nice line there to trim across. And now we're going to layer that right down here so our cake looks like it's sitting on a pretty silver platter. Yeah. There we go. We have our cake. All right, to finish this off, I thought we need to do something just a little bit more to make it, you know, be cake. So let me grab my sponge. I've got this little sponge, and I've got some chunky glitter. I don't know about you, but I love glitter. I grew up in a house, my mom didn't allow us to have glitter at all. She was not a glitter lover. I'm going to just put a little glue here on my sponge. And this is a great way to get like a sugared candy look, or, you know, a sugared, like at Christmas time, if you're doing any kind of sugared cookie or something, this is a great way to make your glitter look sugared, is to just apply some dots with your sponge and then tap it in your glitter. Ooh, and there we go. We have our perfect little cake that's all sugared and ready for a birthday party. And that is, I started off with this card as our first one together because this is kind of my way of doing things. I like to kind of, you know, change things up and use things in different ways, combine things in different ways. I find that really fun. So I thought this, even though it's a simple card and we're just using dies, it kind of helps us get to know one another, because taking a bowl and turning it into a cupcake is my kind of thing. So now, excuse me that I'm coughing today. Now we're just going to layer our cupcake right on top of our candles. And I'm going to do that with a little piece of double-sided adhesive. So I'm just going to put my double-sided adhesive just right down the center of our cupcake. I guess it's not necessarily just a cupcake, it could be just a regular cake, but And now I'm going to add that just right to the top here of our, so the candles are coming out. Isn't that cute? I love it. All right, to finish this up, we're going to go ahead and put some foam on the back side of the whole thing. So if any of you are crossovers that have come from other places where I post my videos, you know I've been like struggling with this cold for like a month. And still coughing a little bit. I just can't seem to kick it. So you've heard me apologize a million times for coughing, and I'm going to start apologizing for that pretty soon. Alright, so I'm just going to let that, let's see, does that show? Yeah, that shows. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cut it apart. Okay, we're just going to add my foam. A lot of times, if it's possible for me to add foam in advance so that, you know, if I'm doing a certain technique to it, I need it to be flat when I'm doing the technique, so I can't add my foam in advance. But for things that I can add foam in advance, I will, so that you don't have to watch me do this little part. I know that may not be very entertaining, but there we go. Okay. All right, I think our very last thing that we need to ink blend is our other little bowl. And I'm just going to put a little bit of a blue edge on the top and a little blue edge on the bottom. And for this one, we're just going to take our big mixing spoon that came from our Baked with Love set, and we're going to put it right in there like that. And for this, I'll just go ahead and use glue. And this is one piece that's not going to be popped up. I've also made our little spatula and a little knife to cut our cake out of our fun chrome paper. Now we are going to go ahead and stamp a greeting here on just a white circle. And what did I do with our stamp set? Here it is. We're going to stamp Happy Birthday. It fits very nicely right here in this circle. Oops. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this freely. I'm not going to use a stamp position or anything, so if we mess it up, we can always turn it over and try again, but I'm going to attempt to get it right the first time. I find stamping on my gel plate like this gives you, it presses it in nicely, so there we go. That looks pretty good, so we're going to use it. Alright, it's time to put everything together. I'm going to go ahead and remove this, and we'll construct our card. So, I've got my cookie tray here. I am going to add a large piece of foam to the back side of that. Pop up my cookie tray. And I didn't want my cookie tray just, you know, framed perfectly like this. So I'm going to tilt it at a bit of an angle. Right here, kind of on the center of my card. I also do want to add some foam to the back side of my sentiment. Pop that up. There we go. And now, let's position the rest of our pieces. So here's our cake. And before I actually glue my cake down, I'm going to add my spatula right over here at the side. We're going to pretty much arrange it just like the pink one. But I wanted that positioned just right over here. Whoops. Didn't hold it down long enough. Give that a second to adhere. There we go. And then we'll set our cupcake right here. So I am going to go ahead and add our cake because nothing else goes underneath it. Everything else is over beside it. And I'm lining up the bottom of my cake with the bottom of my card. Now, I'm not all the way down, but that's how I'm like eyeballing it to get it straight. Because, whoops, didn't want that to touch down yet. Because with the cookie tray at the angle, we don't want our cake at an angle. We want our cake straight. That looks pretty good. All right. The other thing I was watching was that the foam on my candles was on the cookie sheet. I didn't want it up above. So, okay, the other thing we're going to do, we're going to add the little bowl. Like I said, it's not going to be popped up. It's just going to be flat. And I'm keeping the bottom of my bowl kind of lined up so it's similar to the, it's the same straightness as my, sorry, I'm having to hold that down a little bit to get it to stick, as the bottom here. Didn't want my bowl all tilted. So let's stay. Okay, now I'm going to take my little knife and we're going to lay it just right across the bowl there. I have to hold it just a little bit longer than normal. I've noticed this shiny paper likes to have time to adhere. All right, and then we're going to add our happy birthday. And this is kind of up to you whether you want it overlapping or tilted, or I'm just going to kind of put it in right like that. All right, we are on the home stretch. Our final part is we're going to add a few of our clear gems. Alright, and I'm just going to be kind of random and put a couple over here, and maybe one right over here. I like to just keep them odd numbers and not overthink it. Just kind of put my glue dots down and run with it. So I've got a brand new jewel picker that Joy sent me from Pajama Crafters, and I'm so excited to use it. So let's pop that out. And there we go. I love a brand new one. Okay, now these come in, I think, 3 different sizes, so I'm just going to pick some random sizes here. A little one over there. I think I want just a medium and maybe a small. All right. I'll set my little frog over here. So there we go. We've got our hers and his birthday cards. Isn't that fun? I think that was just a really fun card. I love it that we turned a bowl into a cupcake and that it works so cutely on our card. I just love a die cut card. Dies are so fun to work with. All right, well, thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed my first video for Pajama Crafter Stamps. I look forward to crafting with you often. If you're interested in any of the affiliate links, they're posted below the video. And we'd love it if you would like us and give us a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the inspiration and fun. Have a wonderful day, and I'll be crafting with you again soon. Bye-bye.